Welcome all. Today we are going to see other data types in Python. Already we have seen that Python contains many data types like numerical, string. In numerical types we have seen integer data type and float data type. Now apart from these data types we have list, tuple and dictionary data type. So we will start with the first one, list. What is list? List is the collection of number of values separated by commas and enclosed within square brackets. This data type is similar to tuple. We are collecting many values using single variable. This is the advantage of list. List may hold values of same type or different types. That means we can have integer values as a list, we can have float values as a list, or we can have integer, float, string, tuple values as a list. Now what is the difference between list and tuple? So lists are mutable. We can change the values in list, but we cannot change the values in tuple. So tuples are immutable. Now we are going to see different basic operations on list. Main operations are create list, insert into list, remove from list. I am going to explain creation, insertion and removal from the list using Sublime Text Editor. See here. We are creating the first object of list type. So I have commented it in create a list variable mylist. We will prepare mylist variable. Okay, so we have written in a definition it is the collection. So this collection is enclosed by square brackets. Now mention the elements in a list 1, 2, 3, 5 and so on. So you can have any number of elements as a part of list. The syntax is the collection is enclosed by square brackets and all the elements of list should be separated by commas. Now you can immediately print this list. Print the elements of the list are so this message will be printed and we have to mention the variable name whose value has to be displayed. So the variable is mylist. Execute the program using Ctrl B. See here, the elements of list are 1, 2, 3, 5. Now how will you display a particular element out of these 4 elements? So it is using index. So these elements are having index values. The list element starts with index value 0. That means we have the 4 elements here whose values are 1, 2, 3, 5. So index 0 element is 1, index 1 element is 2 and index 3 element is 5. So last element is 5 whose index is 3 because the index starts always with 0. Now print last element. Mention comma, the name of the variable mylist and syntax for using the index. So we want to display the value at last index, which is the last index 3. Okay. So the syntax is mylist in square bracket 3. It will display the last element of the list. Execute it. The last element of list is 5. Okay, fine. Next operation, insertion into existing list. I make a comment, insert into list using insert function or insert operation. So insert is a standard library function that will insert one element at a time in existing list. To use this program, to use this function, insert function, you need to mention two variables, two parameters. Example, I am going to insert 9 at last location. Already our list contains 4 elements, so next element will be 9. After that, the number of elements in a list will be 5. So the index value for this element will be 4. Check this. Mention the name of the variable mylist. Using dot operator, you have to call insert function. Now mention two parameters. First parameter is index, at which you want to add the element. You want to add the element at index 4 and the value of that particular element. This statement will add 9 at location 4. Location 4 means 5th element. Now check the output. Okay, so we are printing here the elements of list are the elements of list are 1, 2, 3, 5, 9. So this is how we can insert one element at a time using insert function, which accepts two parameters. First one is the index at which we want to add element, and second parameter is the value which is to be added. One more example. I will add now 10 at location number 3. So for third location, our index value will be 2. This is why our next statement will become mylist dot insert. We want to add at third location, so its index value will be 2. Which value you want to add? 10. Yes, done. We will give the message. Modified list will be modified. This is modified list. Modified list. So see here, at location 3 in a list we have 10 inserted. So which index we have used here? We have used index 2. Now we can make use of negative index values also. How it can be done? Print last element of list using negative index. Negative index starts with -1, positive index starts with 0. Mention the variable of the list. The list variable is mylist, and we want to print the last element of the list. Okay, last element starts with -1. Negative index starts with -1, and we want to print last element. Which is the last element? 9. So using the statement number 11, we will print last element. What is its index value? -1. The positive index for this list, for this member, will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So So using positive index we will get 9, as well as using negative index we will get 9. The difference between positive index and negative index is that positive index for element 9 will be 5 and negative index for element 9 will be -1. Observe here, last element of list using negative index 9. What will be the negative index for first element? It starts with -1 from the last, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. So using -6 as index value, we will print the first element of the list. Index value we need to change it to -6 from -1. Done. Check the output. First element of list using negative index, we have received correct output as 1. Next operation, remove hash. I am using the comment here, remove element from list using remove operation. This is again simple operation. Use the list variable from which you want to delete or remove the element. The variable is mylist dot remove. You need to pass a parameter. The parameter is which value you want to remove. For example, we are removing 3, so mention this value here. What you want to remove? You want to remove 3, so mention that value here and then print the output after removing the element. So we are printing elements after removal, or the modified list after removal, modified list after removal of one item, after removal of element. Check the output. Modified list after removal of element 1, 2, 10, 5, 9. This is how 3 will be removed from current list. These operations are basic operations that are performed on list data type. The operations are how we are creating the list variable, how we are inserting into the list, and how we are removing from the list. Important things are, we are creating the list variable, we are defining the list variable with the help of elements separated by comma, and these are enclosed within square brackets. We use positive index and negative index to access individual elements of a list. To insert into list, use insert operation. It has two parameters. First parameter is the index and second parameter is the value. To remove from the list, we use remove operation. It requires one parameter. The parameter is value of the element that you want to remove. Okay, we will stop here.